Aloha, friend. Let's say aloha from Tennessee. I don't really know why aloha came up, but that's what I wanted to say. I'm just hanging out in my backyard. It's nice and cool. Got some afternoon shade on the porch. There's this cool rainbow sprinkler thing, and here, I'll turn it around and show you. I'm waiting for a few people to pop on. I'm sure y'all like making dinner and stuff. I've got dinner in the oven, so I thought I had a few minutes. So there's this cool rainbow sprinkler, and then we got the little blow-up pool. It has like a little bench in it, and they put it like halfway underneath, so it's like the sprinkler on the other side coming from the rainbow like comes down on them, and they can kind of cool off, or they can scoot over and be in the shade. So it's pretty cool, both at Target. I really don't remember. I think the rainbow was $50. I don't remember how much the pool was. So it's a lovely day in Tennessee. You know, I always get really nervous right before I go live, and then I just hit the button anyways, and I just do it. And I think that's how you have to do everything in life. When you really want something, or you want to share something with someone, or you want to go after a dream, you get really scared at first, and then you just freaking do it anyways. Hey, Amber. Hey, Crystal, my lovely childhood BFF. Oh my gosh, remember when we used to get in the pool outside your house, and I was obsessed with mermaids, and I always wanted to play mermaids, and I was like, let's pretend we're mermaids. Do you remember that? Or how we would play hide and go seek in the dark, like at your house, or like in the graveyard across the street. Man, that was fun. Nostalgia galore. Hey, Cherie. Is that how you say it? Hey, Cherie. Hey, guys. Oh, it's asking me if I want to go live with you. You're probably like, wait, no. So today I thought I would hop on for a minute and talk about how to become a vibrational match with what you want. And some of you might be like on the same wavelength and like, oh yeah, like you're into all the spiritual stuff and the manifesting and the law of attraction, and so you're like, yeah, right? And then some of you are like, a vibrational match? What the heck are you smoking? What are you talking about? Sherry. Okay, cool. Like, what the heck are you talking about? So I am learning all the things, and I just felt really inspired today because I found this podcast. It's so funny how the universe lines things up for you when you ask for them, because yesterday I think it was the CEO of my company, who is amazing, spiritual, anti-vax, awesome warrior babe. Jenna Zweigel was like talking about all the podcasts that she likes, all the books that she reads. Like every successful person that I see like listens to podcasts and they read books, and they're like always having ideas and looking for inspiration. And I was like, man, I need to find like a good podcast to listen to in the morning to get like really like revved up and encouraged and inspired. And I was like, I wonder, you know, what podcast I could start with. I want it to be kind of about business, but like also like somebody that's really into affirmations and like spiritual stuff, right? And I went to my stories and I was flipping through right when I was thinking about it, and my friend Heather had a screenshot from, oh my gosh, I just forgot her name. Amanda Francis. Her last name is Francis. You know what? I'm going to put a link when I'm done in the description afterwards. I think her last name was Francis for sure. I looked at it right before I got on. But she said, yeah, she talks about being an entrepreneur, and she talks about all the spiritual things. And I was like, that's so crazy, but not really. I was just thinking about it. I called that to myself. You ever do that? You think about someone and then they call you or they message you? That's the universe like bringing to you what you need, what you want. I believe that. And so I started listening to her stuff, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, because I had all these ideas in my mind that to be successful, I had to have all my ducks in a row. I was like, okay, I want to be 100K, I want to be 500K, I want to be super affiliate, I want to be the top of the company. But before I can be that, I need to be this. And I didn't even realize I had that limiting belief. I just thought, well, all these people who are successful do this, so I need to do those things, and I'm not going to be as successful until I do those things too. Even listening to a podcast, right? Which, it's an awesome idea to do the things, but it's a limiting belief that you put in your own mind when you think that you have to have all your ducks in a row, that you have to be super organized, and like you have to KonMari the house. Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, my house is a disaster, and when they go live, like, they look beautiful, and their house is like everything's brand new, and the furniture's like what do you call it when it's all in the right spot, but like everything looks like perfect, right? And you think, man, they just must have everything together. They must be super like organized. They must get up at 5 a.m. and go run, and or go to the gym, or juice every morning, which are all like cool things to do again. But when you set it in your mind that until you are like that, and you have all of those things going, and you have all of that stuff figured out, and you become this more organized whatever kind of person, that you have to have all that straightened out, or your marriage figured out, maybe you have problems or something, I don't know. But I realized I thought I had to have like all these things together and figured out, because I am not the kind of person that wants to wake up at 5 in the morning and I thought, okay, I'm going to have to start going to bed at like 8 or 9. I'm going to have to get up at 5. I need to like do the exercise routine, and my gratitude list and my affirmation, and look at my dream board. And I do have a dream board beside my bed. But you don't have to have all of it together before you can start manifesting success in your life. Start where you are right now. Accept where you are right now. Love who you are right now and where you are right now. And then you start getting on the same high vibration as success, because you believe that you deserve it. That you don't have to be this crazy, perfect, business person and have everything in life figured out before you can have those things. You deserve those things now. And it's really, being an entrepreneur is really like this journey it's a journey of self, of personal development. Hey, Aaron and Dan. Thanks for the love, guys. And it's okay to not have your shit together. By the way, I do use some colorful language, so just throwing that out there. Hey, Brittany. So now it's like I have a different mindset about it, instead of like, oh my God, I have to like organize my entire life and KonMari my house, which I've been trying to do for like 3 years. I've been making like small progress, but I wasn't that person that like KonMari'd my house in like a few days. That just didn't happen for me. I've probably done, you can print out the list online. We probably went through the clothes and the books and the papers like 3 different times. And then only when we moved, went through the kitchen, and now I barely have any dishes to even cook with. But I was like, this doesn't bring me joy. Be gone. And now, so we have like 1 pot. And Ernie's like, you got rid of all the pots. I'm like, it didn't bring me joy. I can't cook in that pot. Or I can't cook with that nonstick bakeware because, it's poison, and that doesn't bring me joy. So just throw it out, and I know the universe will just provide, right? So I definitely believe in all those things. I want to do all those things, but now instead of like, oh my God, before I can be successful, I have to have all this straight, I'm like, oh, I just need to do my thing and to believe that I deserve it and go after it. Huh?
It went off.
Oh, the oven went off? Do you want to put on the pot holder and pull it out of the oven? The chicken? Okay. I'll get it. So I guess I'm getting the food out of the oven. But what I was saying is I can go ahead and start right now believing that it's possible for me to reach 100K and 500K affiliate and all that before I have all that figured out. And along the way, I do those things, not because I feel like I have to, but because I realize like, oh, I actually do want less clutter in my room because it helps me think straight, and it helps me want to get out of bed and do things and motivate me. You know, you just do things now because you want to, because they make you feel better. They make everything feel clearer than because, oh my God, I have to like do this. And she said, I think her name was Amanda Francis. I think that was it. So just look her up on YouTube. I'll post the link. But I mean, if you like that kind of stuff, manifestation and all that, oh, so awesome. She was like, I do not get up at 5 in the morning and work out. She was like, I am not organized person. Like, I have to scramble back through emails to find out stuff. And you know, she's a 6-figure earner a month. And she was like, I'm not the most organized person, and that's okay. I accept who I am for what I am, but then I still do the things. And she's like, and maybe it takes me a little bit longer because I'm not as organized, but I still do them. I still send out the email to my team. I still delegate. I still encourage others. I still make my videos because I want to do them. And I accept who I am and don't feel like I have to completely become this like type A personality or whatever. That's not me. So I don't know. I just found like it was really inspirational, and it really like clicked with me, and so I thought I would come on and share that with everyone. Also, she talked about it feels like Florida out here. I'm in Tennessee, by the way. It's kind of humid out today. She talked about money too and debt. And she said, like, be careful about how much you focus on your debt, because even though that might be an inspiration to you, like, okay, I'm focusing on it because I want to get rid of it, I want to knock it out, that if you're focused on it a lot, that you might be paying it off and then creating more debt because you're so consumed with the burden of having the debt. Just realize it's there. Know that it's there. Know that your plan is, yes, eventually that's going to go away. I'm going to make that go away. But focus on manifesting all the things that you want in your life and pouring them into your dreams and whatever it is you want to do, whether you want to blog, vlog, you're in a company now and you want to raise up to the top, or you want to start your own company, or you want to be a musician, or whatever you want to be. Put your energy towards that, and knowing, not just believing, but knowing that it's yours. It's yours. It's going to be yours, and have no doubts about it, and just be confident. And it is like it is a lot of work with like overcoming your insecurities and just just realizing what your insecurities are, being okay that you have them, but knowing they're there, and you gotta kind of just push past it and just do anyways. So I'm glad you do not have your shit together. That way I don't have to hate you. Exactly. You don't have to hate me. It's like so hard when you see people that everything in their life looks freaking perfect. And you're just like, oh, that looks like you want to be happy for them, but there's that part of you that's just like, how? And it's not perfect. It might look perfect, but it's not. And if the harder they try to convince you, I think if they're trying to convince you that it's perfect, then probably there's something way wrong and way off. Okay, getting the food out of the oven. Let me turn this on. Alright, that's gotta cool so I can go back outside. I'm gonna grab some water. This is my birthday. See me not being perfect? Y'all feeling good about it? You know, I have clean water, but I don't have clean dishes right now. That's okay, because I'll just reuse this Taco Bell cup over and over, and then I don't have to wash a bunch of dishes. And hey, that's like better for the environment, right? That I didn't throw it away right away, that I'm like reusing it. So I'm going to tell myself, even though it's plastic. Hey Ethel, is Crystal still on? Because your daughter was just on. That's so funny. Hey Beverly, my kids are having some electronic time, so I thought, oh my gosh, I might get to actually like have a thought and share it with other people without them all up on me. I mean, I said everything that I was thinking, so I'm just trying to think if there's anything I can add to that. Oh yeah, there is one other thing I wanted to say. So a lot of you know that I'm an affiliate for HempWorks for CBD. We have a lot of CBD products, right? So, and this is not necessarily about that. It's just about the kind of a mindset that I see. When I'm talking to people that are like, oh my God, they really are desperate. They need CBD in their life. And it's really hard not to just be like, okay, I'll buy all the CBD oil and just ship it to everyone, because I have friends whose kids like have seizures and, oh, I'm not supposed to say disease names, but you know what I'm saying, or their kids are like have like severe sleep problems, I'll just say that, or severe anxiousness. Oh, thanks, Sheena. This is my mom unbathed face. It goes with my mom bod. Anyways, and they tell me like all these struggles that they're really having, and they know that CBD is really going to help their child or help them with their anxiousness, or like gosh, there's like a zillion things that it helps with, right? It's an anti-inflammatory. It's a mood balancer. I'm trying to think of all like the things that we can say. I don't know why I did that. Anyways. And then the most common thing that I hear from people is, oh my God, it's going to be a lifesaver. It's going to help us so much. I know it. And they're like, you know, wondering if it's going to work for them. I'm like, hey, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee, so if it doesn't, you send the bottle back. It could be empty. You could be like, hey, it didn't work. I mean, I used the whole bottle, but it didn't work. Any of our products, you can send the bottle back empty. Within 60 days, that gives you plenty of time to try it, and they'll refund you your money. So, I mean, it's risk-free. But I hear is like that they can't afford it, and it makes me really sad, because you know, I know what it's like to not be able to afford something that you need, and it's really hard to hear that. And what I like to tell people is, well, you know, we have a sample pack for $12. First of all, can you do that? But also, I say just, you know, they're like, I can never afford that. And I'm like, please don't say that, because if you say that, it's already in your mindset, I can't afford that. I can never do that. You know, $69 is too much. I'll just never be able to afford it. But if you think that, you're blocking that. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, you are not allowing that to ever manifest in your life, because you've said never. You know, they say never say never. You've said never, and that's gone. But I just tell them, just say it out loud, or write it down, or, you know, just speak it every day, or read it every day. Just say, I'm going to get CBD for my child or for myself. Say it, believe it. Don't worry about the how. Just believe that if you really do need it in your life, you really do need it for you or your children or for someone else in your family, or maybe your pets, because you know it will really help them in their health. Believe that some way the universe will provide. And we don't have to get lost in the how, because some things happen and we're like, oh wow, I just got that random check in the mail, or somebody owed me money from a long time ago, or this unclaimed money showed up. Like, where did this come from? It happens, guys. And don't worry about the how. Just believe, and say it every day, and just believe and let it go. Don't dwell on it. Don't get upset about it. Just believe and let it go, and let it come back to you. A way will present itself. If it's really, really that high up on your list, you know, when that money does appear to you, that's going to be the first thing on your mind, because that's what you were wanting it for. You really needed it for. So anyways, that's just one thing I like to tell people. And I don't know, it's kind of like, you know how you're like, oh my gosh, I have this water bill or have this electricity bill and I have to pay it, and you have in your mind that you're going to do whatever it takes to pay that, or to get those groceries in the refrigerator, or to do whatever you need to do to help your family. And so that's like first in your mind, and there's no doubt in your mind you're gonna make it happen. Maybe you don't know how, but you're like, I'm gonna make this happen. And then it happens, and you make it to the next month, right? Well, what if we put those kind of things in our mind, and we changed our mindset from scarcity and lack of to abundance, and say, I am going to have money for the things, not just that I need, but that I want and that I desire, and I know that I deserve them, because you do. You deserve them. I'm going to have money for CBD oil. I'm going to have money to go on a vacation with my family, or even something small, to go on a date with my spouse, or whatever it may be. Have it in your mind. I'm going to have that money. It's going to come to me, and believe it. And I really believe that it will. It will manifest. And, you know, I know people are like, oh, that's crazy. That's just woo, 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 woo stuff. Well, you're already blocking yourself off if you don't think it's possible. So change your mind, change your actions, change your attitude, change your life. That's what I believe. Your thoughts become your reality. 100% Sheena. It's helped my children with their mood support and other issues they had. They, especially my oldest, has some issues, and I finally don't cry myself to sleep because she has completely changed. I can't believe I waited this long to try it. Oh, that's amazing, Sheena. I'm so glad that you're on my team. Yeah, for a while, I didn't join when I first found out about the company, because I've been looking, well, rewind. I had been passionate about cannabis for a long time before I even heard about this opportunity, because I just saw all the amazing stories. Hashtag Brave Michaela, and lots of other people. There's videos going around everywhere, people suffering from things, them taking the oil. Of course, most of the time those videos were like the kind with higher THC amounts, and ours is from hemp, so it doesn't have the psychoactive effects. But and I just saw all the amazing things that it was helping, and I was just so passionate about the plant and about everyone having access to it. And when I found about CBD oil and that it was like it would help with a lot of things, but then you couldn't get high from it, and it was like safe, I could give it to my kids and stuff, and to Cade for like his sensory issues and like hyperactivity and focus. And then I started looking at companies, and I saw my friends would try things like Charlotte's Web and all the other ones, and I never felt like, I don't know, like some of them would be like, oh, it didn't really work for us, it didn't really help us. And then I saw all of a sudden like an onslaught of all like autism moms on my friends list posting about this oil that was working, that was helping, that, you know, that we could feel confident in because it had third-party tests. And, you know, online for every batch you can see them. It was just like a trusted company, and it didn't have any like bogus ingredients in it, you know. And so I was like, I need to try this. And so of course I like asked a gazillion questions about all the ingredients and everything. But Michelle was just like, you know, her son himself, he's vaccine injured and he suffers with seizures, but she was just so patient with me. And I was like, this is the kind of person I need to work with, somebody that's willing to answer all my questions, that's patient, that like really has a passion for it because she sees how it's helping her life. And then I was like, okay, what the heck, you know, I'll just try it. And I didn't even realize that beyond helping Cade, that it would help with like if the girls' tummies were upset, if they were having trouble sleeping. Like I didn't know it would help me with like my, I guess we'll say mood, since we're not allowed to say disease names, but anxiousness and stuff. It would help me feel like I can do things. I didn't realize it could also help with that too, and help Ernie with his mood too. Hey, Kayla. And so I was just like, this is it. This is, my family needs this. We need it every month. And I didn't know how we were going to be able to afford it, but I just saw that we needed it, and I just trusted that we were going to figure it out no matter what it took. And, you know, and it wasn't long before I got to a place where the money that I was making each month from sharing the product was not only paying for our monthly oil, okay, which was like the main goal, to pay for our oil, but sometimes it was also, you know, paying our other bills. And, you know, I see myself growing so much more from where I am now. And I know now that it's, when before in other companies I gave up, I didn't feel as much passion towards the product and what it was doing in people's lives, but I also didn't have that I'm not stopping until I've reached all my goals, period. And I'm going to get there, and I'm going to be patient with myself kind of attitude when I have that now. So that's my spiel. I better get these kids some dinner, guys. But yeah, you tried other brands too that had high levels of ethanol, right? And the doctors show, because some of them do ethanol extraction instead of CO2 extraction, so you have like the residue, and CO2 is just cleaner. So yeah, and I mean, hemp is not even regulated, so you really shouldn't just run down to the health food market, or please, dear God, no, the gas station, to pick up your CBD oil. Check the third-party test, know where it's coming from, know how it's extracted. You know, anybody can throw up 1,500 milligrams on there, and they can put whatever they want for the ingredients because it's not regulated. Don't buy it just from anywhere. Of course, I think ours is the best, but I'm just saying this for general. If you're going to buy it somewhere else, know where it's coming from, check for third-party tests, know for sure those are the ingredients, because it could actually really hurt your health and make you really sick if you got some really cheap brand at the gas station or something. Just don't do that. Don't do that. There's this Chris Farley meme going around, and it's like, for the love of God, stop buying your CBD oil at gas stations or something like that. It's really funny. I'll share it sometime. Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I guess I'll kind of give like a quick little update on Gwen. I know a lot of you have been shooting me messages and wishing us well, that, you know, she went to the hospital several days ago for like really bad head pain and neck pain, and the chiropractor was like, yeah, you should get a test and make sure it's not like meningitis, specifically bacterial meningitis, which there's like bacterial and viral and fungal, and I think there's actually a bunch of kinds, but bacterial is supposed to be like the kind you don't play with. It's supposed, you know, really dangerous. And so they gave her a spinal tap. That was awful. And it showed that she didn't have the bacterial. But they said, I guess it was still, like, the results are kind of like not 100% kind of thing too. So he said it still could be viral or whatever. Like, if she gets worse or something, bring her back in. Luckily, her mood has improved a lot. Her energy has improved a lot. And her neck no longer hurts. Now it's just her head. It's just one spot in her head. And it seems to be spacing itself out a lot more. So I'm hoping over the next few days it's really just going to be done. So I'll keep y'all updated. I hope it completely goes away, and that it's nothing serious. And I appreciate everyone's thoughts and prayers and love that you sent and messages that you sent. You know how scary it is when you have to take your kid to the ER and it's really the last place you want to go, and you always have in your mind that they're gonna, hey guys, if you want to hear what I commented about above, manifesting and everything, you can do the replay of this. I'm just talking about Gwen right now, but it is scary, especially, you know, when you don't vaccinate anymore, and then they, you know, come at you with, well, you know, it's just a risk assessment, and there's this pediatrician, the doctor's like, there's this pediatrician that, you know, she said she could see you after you leave, since you just moved here and you're looking for one, but, you know, she doesn't accept anyone that, you know, isn't up to date, and so you would have to get called up. And I was like, you don't know who you're talking to, brother. I didn't get into it with him because I already feel like I'm in the war zone at the hospital, and like bad things could happen. And if my daughter was not there, I would have like been like, hey man, how do you feel about the CDC writing the schedule but having like over 50 patents for the vaccines? Like, I mean, that kind of seems like a conflict of interest, right? Like, I would have totally like just went into it, but I was like so yeah, I didn't get into it. I was just like, okay, let's get out. Keep your cool, keep your game face on, get the hell out. All right, guys, I hope y'all have a good night, and I love you all.